Hi, my name is Chris Sutphin. I live in Rocky Gap, Virginia. I'm 45 years old and I have Parkinson's. And these are my 10 questions for ParkinsonWTV. So, question one: what symptoms did you start with or notice that made you do something about it? I think the first thing that I noticed was the stiffness in my pinky and ring finger when I was typing. It was just becoming more and more difficult to actually use my left hand to type because my hand just wouldn't respond, or it would just stick on one of the keys. Then I noticed I was having issue turning the steering wheel with my left arm while I was driving. It required so much more effort just to turn the steering wheel, which before was super easy. I mean, I drove a lot during the year. That was part of my job. Then I started having neck pain, shoulder pain. Decided to go to a neurologist, which leads into question two as to what age was for you when you were diagnosed. That was when I was 42. The initial visit with the neurologist, she thought I'd either had a stroke or I had Parkinson's, so she ordered several MRIs to rule out stroke, infarctions, and she did come back and say that I had some issues with some narrowing in my spinal vertebrae. So she then sent me to a spinal specialist. We had three, I think, spinal epidurals. I went to a spinal surgeon who said that it was, I had some narrowing, but it wasn't bad enough that he would recommend operation at this time. So I went back to the neurologist, and she decided that she wanted to do a DAT scan, which came back showing abnormalities on my right side. She then referred me to a movement disorder specialist at Wake, who prescribed Artane and Synmet, which I reacted very well to both. That appointment was actually on my birthday, so that was my early birthday present. So now we're getting a visit from Wendy. So question number 3, are you a shaker or a go slow or both? I think I'm more of a go slow because I initially, I had just a lot of stiffness in the left arm and left hand. As it's progressing, it's in my left leg and ankle now, so it's kind of a step drag thing, waiting for the meds to come on. And once that happens, everything's okay for a while. So question 4, what is the UPDRS scale? As best I remember, I think the MDS scored me as an 18, which is, I think, very low, early onset. Not sure how, I'm sure it's a rating system that they use, but I'm not sure how it translates in for me, because some of the questions that they ask, it varies from day to day sometimes. So, do I have a Parkinson's nurse? No, I just see the neurologist and movement disorder specialist. So what don't the PD meds mask and what don't they hide? Apathy I really struggle with that, and motivation. A lot more cognitive issues. People see me when I'm out and about, and they say, "Hey, you look good." I'm finding, at least in my journey, that there's a lot more, in my head going on. Depression, apathy, just brain fog, not being able to access things that I know, like it's there, I just can't form the ideas or form the words. I think that's a big thing that it just doesn't, people don't always see that. So on to 7, acceptance. Have you come to term with Parkinson's? No. And I'm not sure that I ever will. like I said before, I've seen the neurologists, I've seen the movement disorder specialists, I've been on the meds, and they're reacting, as they should. There's a part of me that still just isn't sure. I don't know what else it could be, but there are just days that I don't feel like it's Parkinson's. And then, I kind of come back to reality once my meds start to wear off. And I think part of it is the fact that I don't know anyone personally that has young onset Parkinson's. Those local support groups that I attend, I'm at least 30 years younger than everyone else there. So I do get to glean some of that knowledge off of the elders, but it's different realizing that, I could have 40 plus years, hopefully, with this disease. So it's every day. I do a lot of what ifs, so that brings in other issues as well. So how do I measure my Parkinson's? The progression, is it gradual? Yeah. I've not, the last 2 visits I've had with the neurologist and the movement specialist, I've not gotten worse, but I've not gotten better. So it seems, very gradual, slow progression, and hopefully it'll stay that way. Number 9, it's just not about me. I have it, but who else does it affect and how? I think the biggest effect is on my wife. Excuse me. She's had her great-grandfather with Parkinson's and my grandfather with Parkinson's, so she's seen, what the later stages are like and what this develops into. So we feel very blessed that, we're together because we support each other, and that's what it's all about. My family knows, and they see, they're still of the idea that if I try to help do something, around the house, or, when we have get-togethers, that, I'm told you don't need to do that. And I'm just, I'm just saying I have Parkinson's. I'm still able and can do stuff. I just have to do it, a little bit differently, or, slower. So number 10, if I had a day off, what would I do and what would it be like? I think my routine would kind of still be the same. Probably go play a few rounds of golf, find a nice little sports car and tour up and down the roads, and just have fun driving like I used to. But that's probably the 2 things that I miss doing. And so, last question: apart from a cure, what would make your life easier in living with Parkinson's? For me, the apathy. I seem to have more of an issue with that than anything I feel. I have things that I know I have to do, and I have things that I know I want to do, and I need to figure out a way to bring those together. I think once I do that, I would be very happy if I could get those 2 together, and get things done. I want to write, I want to participate, so many different things, and I know that it's there, it's a stumbling block, but I need just to trick myself or train my brain to do things differently, and I'm working on that. So and hopefully within the next 5 to 10 years, I really think that there's going to be some really interesting breakthroughs, and I'm not saying I think there's going to be a cure, but at least something to halt the progression, and maybe roll back a little bit. to get us where we need to be. So, thanks for listening. Look forward to seeing what all other submissions that folks have, and we'll catch you later.